Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. I, of course, am Hammer, founder of Hammer Solutions, home of great products such as Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. If you want to find out how I can help you as a mortgage originator, mortgage broker, retail loan officer, it doesn't matter. If you want to find out how I can help you get more loans, check out our products, Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. So anyway, remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. So glad you're here. If you're here this morning, say good morning. If you are watching on the replay, don't forget, give me hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you are here. If you would like to join us for the show each morning and you don't want to miss a minute, make sure you get the text alert that we're going live. You can sign up for those. They're absolutely free. We don't sell your information or use it for any nefarious purpose. You can sign up at hmmr.io/reminder, the hmmr.io/reminder, or use this cool QR code, and you can sign up for those absolutely free of charge. But if you're here this morning, say good morning like Ron Siegel, who said today is National Lobster Newburg Day. That must be a bougie California thing, because I don't know what lobster Newburg is. Hopefully someone else does. You guys can explain it to me. Good morning, Vicky McSweeney, Allison Foy. So great to have you here. Remember, if you're here this morning, say good morning. If you're watching the replay, don't forget to give me hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, tell an originator friend. Make sure you are commenting. It helps the algorithm. It helps the engagement. And it helps my peace of mind. So once again, welcome to all the live folks. Angela Walters, good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started and jump right in. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the technicals and see where we're at this morning. Currently, mortgage-backed securities up about 15 basis points on the day. That is fantastical. 10-year Treasury yield back down significantly, 4.33. Ended the day yesterday at 4.37. It's been testing that 4.40 level up here, and it is back down, which is a good move for sure. So good things there. Quick recap on what happened yesterday. Let's zoom in on this and show you kind of where we're at and where things went. So if we take a look, let me go ahead and pull this over a little bit. There you go. So taking a look at yesterday, you could see there was a lot of volatility. It was down on the day, then back up on the day, then down on the day, then back up on the day, then down on the day. Then right before we ended the day, it was back up on the day. A lot of volatility yesterday. That really gets highlighted in our text alerts. Remember, if you'd like to sign up for our text alerts, you can sign up for those at www.ratetextalerts.com. These are what the text alerts look like. You can go ahead and get signed up for these guys here. Why is this window not getting bigger here? Hold on a minute. Let's see. Up, down. Why did that? I don't know. Oh, it's not happening. But anyway, take a look here. We can take a look and see. Yesterday morning, it was a short one because we said reprice risk on the day was high. We started the day yesterday with bonds down about 36 basis points on the day. Not a good look for bonds. It could get worse. We'll keep you posted. Then about 2 hours later, we sent out an update. We improved about 30 basis points here. And we said bond staging a strong recovery. Hold off locking. Many lenders will reprice better. We did see a lot of reprices better yesterday. And then a little later, we had to send out an alert that bonds were taking a hard finish to the day and that we were going to see reprices worse. And it was overall not the best one. So, but we had, right at the end, we had a bit. So yesterday was definitely a volatile day, both reprices better and worse. Rate sheets today should be better if we take a look at what those look like here. Rate sheets this morning should be a bit better. Let me see. We're going to pop this in here. Let me move this over here. So you can see that, again, we're seeing volatility. A lot of what we're seeing is one step forward and then two steps back. So we've seen where rates go creeping higher, come down for a quick moment, then they creep back higher again, even higher here, come back down for a moment again, creep even higher here. Overall, you could see the trend over the month, though, 6.14 to 6.55. That is up, and that is not a good thing. So my point here is we've seen a lot of you see one little bit of improvement, it gives you some false hope, and then we see some negativity. So today we're going to see a little bit of improvement. When you see mortgage-backed securities that are up 12 basis points on the day from, basically from when lenders came out with pricing morning rate sheets yesterday, we're actually up about 30 basis points. So you're going to see, again, it's another nice day of improvement. Now, the reason we're seeing this, by the way, is because of all the headlines. There's talk of a ceasefire. Even though Iran is rejecting the proposal of a ceasefire, it shows that there is some kind of behind the scenes talks actually going on. And but at the same point, we're seeing a lot of headlines bounce back and forth about how we could be seeing boots on the ground and that there's a lot of troops heading out that way. Ron Siegel has said that he doesn't think we'll see boots on the ground unless it's to take over Karg Island. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, but I think that we could see things break either way. If there's one thing that's consistent about Trump, it's his inconsistency. So, but today we're going to see some better rate sheets, should see some improvement, but you got to keep in mind, again, one step forward, two steps back. So reprice risk on the day is high. If we see more talk of a ceasefire, that's going to help things improve. Right now, we've seen oil really take a strong stance. It's back below $100 a barrel. That, of course, is also contributing and helping bonds this morning. But it's the overall sentiment there. However, if that turns around and things look much colder than what they are now in the talks, then you're going to see things go back up again, right? Especially if there's escalation in military attacks, if there's boots on the ground. Right now, ICE Brent oil below $100 a barrel. That's a big deal. That's helping to see improvement. But we have to definitely keep an eye on where things are going from here. As far as the rate outlook and where things go and what rate sheets look like and things like that, you got to kind of take it a little bit big picture here, right? And when we look at it big picture, rates could easily move another quarter point, maybe even 3/8 of a point higher over the next coming weeks, depending on if there is an actual ceasefire, if there is any kind of true resolution in the Middle East. If that happens, then we're going to see rates start to recede, but it's going to happen gradually, right? And we're going to see things drop, from that 6.5, 6 5/8 down to 6 3/8, maybe 6 1/4-ish, right? You'll see a bit of a move. It's definitely there. Do we want to hope for it? Hope's never been my lock strategy. And that's why my lock advice is that we want to lock for now for most loans. Even though when a ceasefire is announced, it is going to help bonds rally. And you're going to see the 10-year Treasury yield drop. You'll see oil prices improve when an actual ceasefire is announced, especially if it includes anything specific about opening the Strait of Hormuz. However, waiting for that could be dangerous. It's almost like it's dangling right within our reach right now, but we don't have it. Again, every day I come to you and it's almost like, where are we reading the tea leaves? What is market sentiment, right? Market sentiment, when you look at what's going on here, this gives us a positive vibe, but I would argue that it may be way too optimistic of a positive vibe and very easily could turn around. Because of that, I think there's just too much risk to floating right now. My advice remains as it was yesterday. Lock anything closing near term. Lock anything that's closing in the next 15 to 30 days. There's just too much opportunity for rates to move up another quarter, maybe even a half a point from here. We could be touching on 7. If we see boots on the ground, if we see more fighting breakout, this is not a very clear cut everybody wants to get this thing done, right? We're not seeing that, and keep that in mind. So the U.S. drafts a 15-point plan to end the Iran conflict. I'm not calling it a war, as Trump pushes talks. But then, the main headlines is that Iran rejects the proposal and calls the talks illogical. And, getting caught up here, moving this over a little bit here, it says Iran rejected a ceasefire proposal, called U.S. talks illogical, according to the nation's semi-official news agency, FARS. The U.S. had tabled a 15-point plan, which covers sanction relief, civilian nuclear cooperation, a rollback in Iran's nuclear program, missile limits, access for shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has kept up attacks on Arab Gulf states and Israel overnight with no reports of casualties. Now, there's an argument that Iran will continue with attacks right up until the 11th and a half hour, because it's the only way for them to continue to apply pressure during negotiations. So we can't necessarily look at the fact that there's still all this military action and write off that that there are talks happening or things happening. But we definitely need to realize that they are happening. Oil prices slump with Brent crude falling below $100 a barrel. First time in a few days. It remains on track for a substantial monthly surge, right? So, keep that in mind as well. Ron Siegel said, we know there are negotiations as it's being mediated by Pakistan, and they have confirmed it. Iran is asserting there are no direct talks because Pakistan is the middleman. Pakistan has offered to host direct talks. Yeah. And, again, this is what it is. Iran is going to try to negotiate from a position of strength. The U.S. is going to do the same, and that's how this will go. When we see clear consensus that there is a ceasefire or a possible resolution, we will see a rebound. We will see rates improve. Why lock now if that could be around the corner? Well, because we may see rates go up another quarter point before that happens. Talks could break down very quickly. They're still very, very preliminary. And until something clear happens, hope is not a lock strategy. And it very much, if we look at the pattern, we have room for rates to move higher from here. And that's what we're concerned about. So that's kind of what we got going on and where we are at with this stuff. So hopefully that clarifies it for you this morning. And I tried to lay it out in a nice, clean cut fashion for you. And we'll see where that goes. Not really talking about the Fed today. Nothing's really changed there. Markets are still, expecting that we could see a Fed rate hike, not a rate cut. So Tammy said, Iran war live. Pakistan shares U.S. demands with Tehran. Not sure I'll label this as talks. Exactly. And that's why I think we have to be careful about putting too much into this, right? So in the meantime, now Tim wants to know, what was the real big present that they sent us according to Trump? That was a big present with a lot of money. I don't know. Again, I don't want to get into where I'm nitpicking on the strange things that dude says. Mortgage demand drops more than 10% as rates hit the highest level since October. There's probably some truth to this one. However, just remember, people are making money. Get out there and sow seeds right now is what you want to be doing. We're definitely, this is one I talked about yesterday. I'm keeping an eye on. Recession odds climb on Wall Street as economy shows cracks beneath the surface. So that's a lot of the concern, is that even when there is a ceasefire, it's not going to go back to normal. There's still going to be some repercussion. There's going to be some blowback. There's going to be some butterfly effect. And, as if talk of a recession builds and becomes a real thing, then that will change the whole trajectory. That would push rates lower. That would lead to Fed rate cuts, not Fed rate hikes. So there's still a lot that's in the air. Trump Hotel and Casino in Tehran. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, that's funny. Rob Wilson, I don't know what you posted on Instagram. I don't know if I can actually I don't want to show this. I just want to click the link. It won't let me click the link. I can't click the link. So, but anyway, that's it for me today. I'm going to wrap it up. Tomorrow, we will just, it's going to be more of the same tomorrow. There's really nothing on the economic calendar to talk about. We've got jobless claims tomorrow. Friday, we've got, I think it's consumer sentiment that's on there for Friday, but it's nothing that we're going to see make any big moves. It'll all be which way this thing breaks. If we see talk of an actual resolution, ceasefire, if that builds, we could see rates creep a little bit lower. Again, I'm still in a locking stance, despite that being a possibility. I just feel like it's dangerous to hold off waiting for that. If we see boots on the ground, if we see escalation, if we see headlines where talks have dissolved and fallen apart, direct or indirect, then that's going to push rates higher. We're going to see oil get higher, and everything comes with almost a rubber band effect when that happens. So Ron Siegel said, lock now, sell the idea that when prices are lower in 6 to 12 months, doing a no-cost refi. I'm selling both loans now. Set a target price for when the client wants to restructure. Rob Wilson said, call it the Strait of Trump instead of the Strait of Hormuz, the Strait of Trump. Got it. That's funny. So, but yeah, Ron's got a good idea here. So keep that in mind. All right, my friends. Well, not much else to really give you today. That's kind of where we're at, where things lie. Let me know if I was clear today in the comments, please. I'm trying to fix my ramblings because I collect all this information in the morning. My brain kind of goes in a direction, and sometimes when I regurgitate it back to you, I jump around a bit. So I was trying to make sure I'm using the thirds down at the bottom. That's these things right here, like this here. So I'm trying to make sure that I use this stuff to give kind of give us a path, follow that path, go through the recap, where rates are at, reprice risk, rate outlook, that kind of a thing. Let me know if this was helpful for you today, if the format is good, and that way I get some good feedback. That said, I'll give you a commercial to end today. Don't forget to go check out Grab and Go Social. Many of you should be out there on social media right now. Go check out, if you're not active on social media, or even if you are and you want some help, Grab and Go Social is content coaching and community. It is a program that gives you daily content to post, as well as content ideas and other content to work with, weekly coaching calls, and community to ask questions and get help anytime you want. So go check out Grab and Go Social at grabandgosocial.com, or use this cool QR code. Get started for your first month. Your first month is $7, and then it's $97 a month. If you're an Originator Success member, it's only $67 a month, and that'll be calculated. That's all done automatically when it bills you to knows you're an Originator Success member. So $67 a month for Originator Success members, $97 a month if you're not. Can't beat that. Go check it out at grabandgosocial.com. So that's what I'm going to end on today, y'all. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye-bye.